Okay, welcome to the Mantis Budgeter version 1.0.6 tutorial video because part of 1.0.6 is there used to be a bunch of text here telling you how to do this, but you can't read. Why would you read when you could watch a video? So, how to set up your Mantis Budgeter very quickly. First thing you do is you come over here and you fill out your budget for the whole year. And you start by filling out your categories. I like to group them by I like to make little bold categories and group them by what kind of thing they are to differentiate between things like fixed and variable expenses. You must set whether it's an income or an expense or it won't work. And this is a check to check if it's a business expense or not. You don't have to worry about that. You can put payment notes here like what card you pay it on or if it's automatically paid or whatever you want there. The main thing is to project out what you plan on making and spending for the entire year. So let's say we'll just fill in some values here. It automatically populates along here just to be helpful. And I don't know, 5 here. So it automatically populates, but you don't have to do that. So for example, if you know that you're going to make less here, but here you're going to get a raise and you expect to get another raise here and you expect there to be some kind of big end of the year bonus here, you can fill in all those as you expect, especially for not just for income but for expenses as well. So once you've filled on all of those things, then you have your budget for the year, and then it'll tell you up at the top kind of what's going on. You're expecting to make a little profit these months, but you're going to be in the hole June and July, and then December you'll make a lot of money. So let's say for example, like you make 0 here, but then we'll put the 2,000 back here. So you'd be in the hole this much at the beginning, but then the next month you'd make up for it. We'll get into cash flow in a second. So that kind of gives you the bird's eye view at what this looks like for the year, and it gives you your monthly average and your total for the year, all that good stuff. So the second thing you need to do once you've filled out your budget and really projected what you're going to make and what you're going to spend for the year, then you want to start logging things on your transaction sheets. So what you do here, by the way, these transaction sheets have names based on the categories you give them up here, what the names of your accounts are, and we do it by, we have these accounts, debit, Visa, Amex, so we do it that way. You don't have to. You can dump everything into one transaction sheet, but there are advantages to splitting them up, which I'll talk about in a second. So what happens here in life? Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to take all the transactions that your bank gives you and then have to categorize each one by hand for each of the categories that it could be. Rather, you want it to be done automatically for you. So what you do is you go to your bank website, you download your account activity, you get them to export it as a CSV file or whatever, and open it in Excel, and then paste all of the data in here all the way down. And don't paste in the green cells. So those are automatic. So then you have all this stuff. You have the date, you have the amount, and then you have a bunch of transaction strings with lots of random data in them. And what you want them to be done to them is you want them to be automatically categorized. So how you do this, you come over here to your categorized by search terms. And let's see. Blah, 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 Charlie's Chicken Shack. Okay, let's say you eat at Charlie's Chicken Shack all the time. So we're going to go with Chicken Shack, and we're going to say that's eating out. And boom, it's automatically been categorized here by eating out. And if you ate again, blah, 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 at Charlie, so maybe it cut it off, Charles Chicken Shack, boom, automatically categorized as eating out based on what you told it to do. So what else is going on? Del Taco, that's also eating out. And what's this? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Fat Tony. So we got paid. So if he sent us our check, so that's salary. And boom, that's salary. ASTF, we don't know what that is. Let's say, some numbers, and it was, let's see, right, whatever you need to buy, guns and let's call it the guns and knife shop. I don't know what you're doing. Still unsorted, so maybe that's your discretionary money. Okay, you spent that much there. Cool. And you'll, for the first month or two, right, you'll have to go through and check all these things and create some creative search terms here. But once you've done that, then for the rest of the time, especially if your habit is, if your lifestyle is pretty regular, then this automatic sorter will automatically categorize 80 or 90% of everything that you do. And then updating your budget is just a matter of once a month spending 5-10 minutes to paste in here and check over everything, make any new search terms, and fix anything that's unsorted, right? Like this happens, oh, unsorted, it'll pop up, you'll know to come back and fix that. There are some advantages to splitting things up. For example, if you go to Target for different things, and it always shows up on your thing as, you know, Target some item number. How do you know if you went to Target for groceries or for household expenses? Well, one way to do that is to make a personal rule and say, like, if it's the debit card and I go to Target, then it's only going to be household expenses. And if it's on the Visa, though, oh, see, we did this already. If it's on the Visa, then that's groceries. You always use the Visa to buy groceries wherever you are. You can make these personal rules, and that way you can categorize these things differently without having to do any extra work other than remembering which card to use. This is saying it's invalid because we don't have a household expenses over here, but we can. So that's that. So what happens when you do all this? Well, then you have this nice overview tab, which tells you, gives you all this great data for everything. And the main way that this sheet functions is to do long-term planning with inconsistent income or expenses, and it's all about cash flow. Cash flow is what you make minus what you spend. And what this tells us is that our projection for January is going to be negative. We're going to lose money in January and therefore in quarter one. And we're going to lose money in quarter two. Quarter three, we're going to make it up, and then in quarter four, it's going to be really good. So you can use this to plan ahead and see that at the end of the year, you're going to be up $3,000. That's good. And that way, at the end of quarter one, when you're in trouble, you know, okay, it's going to be fine because at the end of the year, we're going to get there. This is why having a savings cushion is important. So you can get individual breakdowns on these things. The charts look weird because we haven't entered a lot of data, but something you can also do is see rollover. So rollover means if you have a personal amount that you want to roll over for the next month, this helps you calculate that. So you're supposed to spend $100 a month eating out, you spend 85, you have 15 left over. That means the next month you have 115 to spend, and you spent this much, so now you have 92, and this tells you kind of how much you're going to save up every, if you want to save your discretionary money or eating out for something, you can plan ahead that way. And you know, then if you love Del Taco so much and you eat, you know, $120 worth of Del Taco that day, then you spent this much, adding up everything, you're down 70, which means next month you only have 30 to spend, and then you know to stay in your budget, and then you can build back up over time. So this kind of helps you stay on track with your personal budgets. The breakdown sheet just does what it says. It breaks down everything for every category for every month, and if you need details, you can check that to see exactly what's going on. It's locked. Don't mess with these sheets that are locked, and a lot of other things will tell you don't edit the cell, and that should be very obvious. So this is the Mantis Budgeter. It's very, once you do a little setup, it's a very powerful tool. It lets you plan ahead. It lets you see lots of data. It lets you stay on track with your personal budgets. And that's the video. Don't do that.